Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. Let's get started by lying down on our backs to focus on some mindful breathing into the belly. If you know that you would rather stay seated, you are welcome to stay seated. You could even sit in a chair for this first 3 to 5 minutes of our class. So to come down to the floor safely, it is recommended that you have your knees bent and you let your knees roll over to one side and then slowly bring yourself down to the floor. Then from this side lying position where there's less disruption to your blood pressure, you can roll onto your back, keeping the knees bent, taking pressure off of your low back. This is also a nice way to keep the muscles comfortable in the front of your hip. Now from here, if you want, go ahead and place both hands on top of your stomach. And we're going to simply monitor the breath for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. As we inhale, we feel that the belly is rising, lifting the hands away from the spine. And then exhale, feel the stomach lowering, bringing the navel in towards the spine and into the low back. Inhaling, feeling the belly rise. Exhale, feeling the belly drop. Looking straight up at the sky so that we're able to keep the neck neutral with the rest of the body. Or you're welcome to even close your eyes with that head and neck neutral. Breathe in through the nose as much as possible. Practice breathing out from the throat with the lips separated. So you're breathing as if you're going to fog a mirror. This is the beginning of Ujjayi breath. Inhale into the nose. Exhale. Big breath in, belly rises. Breathe out. Make the breath audible. Be sure that you can hear your breath. That's how we know that those stomach muscles are contracting and that energy is moving up and out from the throat with your breath. Breathe into the nose, out from the throat. 2 more. Last one. Now keep the ha breath, but close the mouth for the ha breath. And it'll create almost like this, the sound you would hear from a scuba diver, or sometimes we call this the Darth Vader breath in kids yoga. Inhaling into the nose. Keep the lips together and try that ha breath. Maybe 2 or 3 more. Now let the body be at ease with the breath. And at any time, if you notice that a pose feels very challenging, or maybe you notice that you're getting distracted, I recommend that you go back to that breath, go back to that scuba diver or that Darth Vader breath. From wherever you are, let's all bring one knee at a time into our chest, and we can wrap our hands around the sides of the legs, maybe even hold on behind the legs. Draw those knees in close to the body and let the body rock just a little bit side to side, massaging along the low back and the kidneys. Maybe we just move with half our range of motion, not too much effort. And then as the body begins to warm up to the movement, take it just a little bit more over. Remember, we all have a little bit of a tipping point. So if you roll over, it's okay. Just roll yourself back up to center. Let's do this a couple more times to each side. 1 more to the left and 1 more to the right. If you want to match the breath to it, exhale when you twist. Inhale as your body comes to center. Exhaling, twisting to one side. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, twist, wringing out the belly, wringing out the lower lungs. Inhale, center. Maybe just 1 more to each side. That way we're able to even this out on the left and right. Let's all meet with those knees at center, centering and neutralizing the low back and the hips. Go ahead and extend the legs, point your toes, extend those legs up to the sky. Maybe separate the feet a little bit, and let's simply flex and point the feet a few times. Getting a little bit of a stretch down through the calves, knees, and hamstrings, stretching those muscles before we put a lot of pressure on the joints. We can also roll out the ankles, circling the feet. If you get any pops or like creaky type noises, it's okay. That's really natural as long as there's not too much discomfort with it. You might notice some things are tight and a little uncomfortable, but definitely avoiding any movements that are going to create pain. Let's come to a still point with those legs. Lower the left foot down, keeping the knee bent. Bring the right knee only into the chest, pull in, and you have the option to hold it here or take your left hand behind your head, bring the chin to the chest, and slowly come up into a gentle abdominal crunch. When you're ready, rest the head down on the floor. Let's rest our right foot on the floor, and we'll begin to alternate that movement. Bring the left knee in, take the right hand behind the head, abdominal crunch, then relax, and relax the legs. So let's add in the breath to that choreography. Exhale, right knee in, left hand for support, and crunch. Inhale, switch, left knee in. Exhale on a contraction. Inhale back, right knee in. Inhale back, left knee in. Inhale back, right knee in. Last one, inhale back, left knee in. From here, relax your head and neck. Take the feet out as wide as your yoga mat or even wider than your hips. We want to get a nice open straddle position with our feet to loosen up a little bit more through the low back. From here, take the palms down beside your hips so that we're able to stabilize the spine to prevent toppling over or twisting your back. Let your knees sway over to the left, maybe just with half your effort, or maybe let that left knee go all the way down to the floor. Keeping that right foot on the floor, you can push into your right foot, and it's going to push your right hip forward so you get a bigger stretch to open through that hip region. Let's bring it to center. Let the knees go over to the right, and your right knee might come down to the floor, left foot stays. We can push into that left foot, which is going to lift that left hip region. When you're ready, bring it to center. Maybe just one more to each side. Over to the left, push into the right foot, open hip. Bring it to center, take it over to the right, push into the left foot, and lift the hip. Let's bring it to center. Walk the feet in. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Maybe take those legs straight up to the sky. Flatten the feet. Take the legs out wide. Hold on to the sides or backs of your legs. Now pull the knees in towards your armpits. We're moving into the dead bug pose, also known as happy baby. So a lot of classes will end or cool down with this pose. We're beginning with this pose. That way we can loosen up the muscles around your low back and sciatic nerve. Also helping to get any excessive fluid like lymphatic drainage out from the leg and groins, moving up into the gut. Try rocking a little bit side to side, that gentle movement helping to flush out the kidneys. When you're ready, let's come to a still point. Bring the knees together and lower the feet. With the knees and the feet touching, let's do a variation on bridge flow today. Now, at any time, if this is uncomfortable, walk your feet out to hips width. We're keeping the feet a little closer today just to notice if there are any different sensations or any different muscles that fire out. From here, we're pressing our palms down outside the hips into the floor. looking up at the ceiling so that the head and neck are neutral. As we inhale, let's press into our feet and hover the hips. Exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Inhale, hip lift. Exhale, hips down. Let's add the arms into this. Inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, hips down, and then bring your arms up overhead. Inhale, arms down, hips up. Exhale, hips down, arms overhead. Let's try maybe 2 or 3 more. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips down, arms overhead. Matching your breath to the movement. Either resting now or one more repetition, let your body choose for you. Let's all meet with our hands down on the floor. Let those knees sway a little bit. Go ahead and roll onto whatever side feels most comfortable just for your body. Let the knees come in tight. Maybe use the hands like a pillow. Close your eyes. Let's find the breath. Breathe down into the low back, through the middle back, and then breathe into the space under your shoulders, behind the heart. Opening up the backs of the lungs with the breath, and as the lungs expand, they're gently stretching, encouraging length in the muscles that are along the sides of the spine. Let's use our top arm, placing it down on the floor in front of us, pushing into the floor. We're coming up about halfway. From this halfway point, take your time to sit casually. And maybe, depending on where you are, you may need to reposition a little bit. I'm seated with my knees to the left of me. So if you were to sit with your knees directly in front of you, sway your knees over to the left, and then maybe bring the feet back a little tiny bit. So you're in this sort of like what we call a Z seated position. Let's inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Take that left hand down behind you. Reach up and reach over with that right arm. Let's bring it through center. Come to neutral and reposition the spine. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Lower that left hand by your hip. Lean back into the hand. Reach up and out of the right arm. Imagine your right hip is pressing back behind you while you open through the armpit, opening up the liver. Let's come to center. Easy does it. Reposition the shoulders in alignment with the hips. One more. Inhale, circle sweep the arms. Bring it up and overhead. Twist to the left, swivel at the waist, lower that left hand down, lean back, push that right hip down, and now inhale, reach and open the armpit, leaning over just a little bit. Let's slowly push off and bring it to center. Bring the feet to center and let those knees sway over to the right. Finding our Z-sit position with the knees angled to the right. Remember, it can feel very different when we twist from left to right, different organs on different sides of the bodies. Also, it depends if you've already had breakfast or not. Let's inhale, arms up, big breath in. Reach like you're holding on to helium balloons, as if you're being assisted to be lifted up into the sky. Let's rotate it, the belly to the right. Lower the right hand down, close to your hip. Lean back into that hand. Push that left hip down behind you. Inhale, reach. And now exhale, slowly come to center and center the shoulders. Inhale, both arms up. Reach tall. Exhale, twist. Lower the right arm, twisting to the right. Lean back. Inhale, reach from that left armpit. And now exhale, bring it to center and square the shoulders. One more, big inhale. Exhale, twist, right hand behind you. Inhale, reach with that left hand, press the left hip down, opening up the intestines and the stomach region, better digestion. When you're ready, come forward, center the shoulders, and take a moment to just breathe with the spine at neutral. From here, we're slowly going to move into our cat-cow flow. For those of us who know that we don't want to put pressure on the wrist or the knees, just being respective of the body's preferences and, avoiding pain, avoiding pressure into those joints if it hurts. You can stay seated for cat and cow flow. You're welcome to maybe come into a seated position on a pillow or a blanket and hold on behind the legs. In that case, you would be pulling forward and back from seated. For those of us who want to experiment with coming onto the hands and the knees today, we're coming into all fours position, seeing that your knees are under your hips, seeing that the toes are back from the knees. So we don't want the toes touching here, separating the toes and the knees to hips width. Let's find our shoulder, wrist, and elbow in a straight line. Maybe come down onto the elbows if there is pain in your hands. On the inhale, we drop our belly, flip the hips back, and gently open the throat to gaze forward. Exhaling, pull the navel up, round the spine, drop your neck and head. You can shake the head yes, and you can turn it left and right. Let's come to a still point. Inhale, drop the belly, coming into cow, lengthening through the spine. Maybe hold it here. Press the shoulders away from the ears. This is going to help to release tension in the neck and the shoulders, helps to strengthen the muscles in your upper back, supporting a healthy posture. On the exhale, when your body is ready, round the spine. Pull the navel in tight. This is strengthening the muscles in the belly, more core muscles, more spine support. Let's try flowing it, one breath, one movement. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cow. You're welcome to find that exhale from your throat that's exaggerated. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, contract. Maybe 2 or 3 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. Remember, you can hold any of these movements. You can hold the pose in its fullest expression for your body. You can move slower or faster. Last one. Let's come to center, finding a flat back. And at this point, if you are seated, I'll encourage you to go ahead and come into all fours position as we reset the back in child's pose. For child's pose, we could touch the toes together now. Open the knees really wide. Start to press the hips back, stopping when there's any pain in the knees, stopping if there's pain in the shoulders, allowing those hips to push back, getting a nice big stretch along the upper thigh, quadricep. Hands can stay really close to the body to protect the shoulders. Over time, experimenting with stretching those arms out as this puts the shoulder in a flexion or a strengthening position. Reaching out dynamically through your fingertips while those hips are pressing back. Let's all relax our head down onto the floor. You can turn it a little bit to the left or right for comfort in the neck. Breathe into your low back. Practice an exaggerated exhale. A big sigh of relief. To safely come out of child's pose, let's slide those hands in just a little bit, walking the hands in to support our spine. From here, we can shift forward, separate the toes, bring those knees into a more neutral position. Let's think about how we might want to bring the body up to standing so that it works for our own personal bodies today. bringing one foot forward, maybe a hand on the thigh for support, tucking that back toe as we gently come up, and hanging loose in a forward fold. Hang your head, close the eyes, continue to breathe easy, knowing that at any time you can walk your hands up onto your thighs, and as you walk the hands up, you may be able to feel a little more support in your low back. So bringing the hands on the thighs is a nice alternative to protect your sciatic nerve. From where you are, bring those hands up. Let's come into standing. I'm just going to take a moment to reposition our camera just one more time. I think we could use a little more lift here. Whoa. All right. Thank you for your patience today, everybody. Just trying to get this organized a little better. Let's see. Take your time making your way up into standing. Maybe let the body sway a little bit. Notice any sensitive places in your feet that maybe need to be addressed today for comfort. Whoops. So we might want to shift forward and back just a little bit. And also think about taking one foot at a time and roll to the inside and outside edge of the foot. This way we start to become aware of any sensitivities in the arches of the feet, in the heels. Now, instead of trying to balance your weight in your feet during class, maybe when we are weight bearing, just find that you're able to adjust your weight in your body around those tender places. We're going to avoid putting too much pressure into tender places. Let's start by taking our feet out to hips width, rolling the shoulders down and back. Let's try that again. Lift the shoulders up, turn your knuckles forward towards me, bring those shoulders up, and now open the palms and pull the shoulders back, reaching to the floor. Let's circle the shoulders like that a few more times and match the breath. Knuckles forward, palms back. Inhale, raise the shoulders up. Exhale, open the palms, drop the shoulders down. 2 or 3 more. Knuckles forward, palms back. Inhale, palms open. Palms back, inhale. Palms forward, exhale. 1 more. Palms back, shoulders pressing up, around, open, exhale. Let's inhale, taking just the left hand back. Sweep it back, circle that arm. Reach straight up to the sky with that left hand. You can look up, the palm is facing in towards your body. And you can look up or in alignment with your heart, or look over your right shoulder. No matter where you go with the neck and the head, we're going to get some sort of neck stretch. Inhale, breathe into that upper left lung and press down into the outside edge of your left foot. Now again, if you found some tender spots in the edges of the feet, you can always bring your weight more forward or bring the weight more back, so we avoid putting so much pressure onto those tender places. 1 more big breath. Exhale, relax. Let's take our right hand, circle it back and around, reach it up, big breath in. Establishing where we want our gaze to be so the neck and head are comfortable. We can look up, straight ahead, or over the left shoulder. Again, no matter where your gaze goes, we're getting some sort of neck stretch. It's either going to be a little more passive or it'll be a little more work, but your body gets to decide. Push into the outside of the right foot. Breathe into the right lung. Big breath in. Exhale from the throat. 1 more. Let's slowly bring that right hand down. Bring both hands together at the heart, pressing the thumbs into the center of the chest. Take the left foot back, a casual stride, bending that right knee a tiny bit. Inhale, open up the arms, cactus arms. Palms are forward, elbows are drawn in towards the waist. When you're ready, come forward, step to the top of the mat with that left foot and bring the palms together. Inhaling, stepping our right foot back, opening up the heart, cactus arms. Exhaling, stepping forward, mountain pose, Anjali Mudra at the heart, prayer hands. Stepping our left foot back, inhale, open, lift the heart, open the ribs. Exhale, bring it forward. Switching sides, inhale, right foot back, opening, lifting the heart. Exhale, forward. Let's try maybe just a couple more on each side. And now that we have the movement rehearsed, we can practice closing our eyes as we go through this gentle, peaceful warrior one flow. Matching breath to the movement, inhaling as we step back, exhaling as we come forward. Let's wrap up that sequence on the left and right, even it out just for your body. Kneading with our hands at the heart, stepping the left foot back, pulling those elbows in, bending that right knee. Inhale, turn the palms in, reach up to the sky with the palms in, and straighten your right leg. Exhale, slowly bring those palms back, forward, pull the elbows in, and bend the right knee. From here, let's step forward. Taking our right foot back, cactus arms, keeping a bend in that left knee. When you're ready, turn the palms in towards each other like you're holding a bowling ball. Reach straight up, straighten the left leg, maybe even look up. Big inhale. Exhale, bending that left knee, bringing the palms down like you're painting a wall. Pull those elbows in and step forward. Let's put all that together, maybe a little faster with the breath. Palms in, left leg back. Inhale, reach up, right leg straight. Exhale, bend that right knee. Pull it down and step forward. Inhaling, right leg back, palms in, reach it up, left leg straight. Exhale, palms forward, bend the knee and bring it forward. Inhaling, left leg back, palms in, reach it up, holding a bowling ball. Exhale, painting the wall, bring it down, step it forward. Inhale, palms in and up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, palms forward. Last one, right leg back. Inhale, bring it up. And then exhale, bring it forward. Let's take our left foot back, keeping the palms at the heart as we establish our foundation in Warrior One. To give you a side view, if you were to look at this pose from the side, you have your front knee bent and your back leg fairly straight. The length of the stride depends on how your back feels. Usually, the longer the stride, the more pressure it will put into the joints. And pressure can usually translate to higher probability of discomfort. So if you're feeling like maybe the back is saying that it's uncomfortable, go ahead and shorten that stride. Take a little more of a conservative stance today. You're going to still straighten and press down into that left heel, keeping a healthy bend in that right knee. As we look down at the right knee, we can still clearly see all of our toes. If we cannot see our toes, that could be a sign that the knee is bending forward too much. This can be very dangerous now that we're standing and putting weight into the joints. We want to make sure that we keep that knee stacked with the ankle. We can see all of our toes. From here, we simply circle those elbows back a few times. Inhale as you lift, pull up through the ribs and armpits. Pull it back. It's almost like you're getting ready for a big yawn. And then exhale, bring it down. One more. Big inhale. And exhale. This time, let's take the arms out long. Inhale, circle back with long arms. Inhale, bring it forward and around. Lots of movement under the armpits. Lots of stretching along the sides of the chest. Opening up and strengthening those shoulders and rhomboids today. Exhale, circle it back. Place the knuckles by your low back or lace your fingers together and try straightening out the elbows, pressing the fist away from your back. Either we are going to press with that fist or rest the hands at the back. Either one is going to work to make sure that the spine can stay comfortable. That's more important than the arm and shoulder position. As we inhale, let's straighten that right leg, both legs straight. Puff out your chest like a proud bird, big inhale. And then exhale. And let the ribs drop. Two more, big breath in, open up. And now exhale. Let the ribs drop. One more, big breath in. Pull up the ribs, maybe open the throat. And now let the ribs drop. From here, let's bend that right knee. Bend the left knee a little bit too. Push the hips back and come forward maybe just a third of the way. From here, check in with your head and neck, shake it, turn it left and right. Take those hands onto the right thigh. Maybe push the hips back a little more and start dropping the chest towards the legs. You can hold it with your head higher than your heart higher than the hips. This prevents an inversion. So if you hold it here, this might be the safest place in managing blood pressure. If you're curious to explore the pose, you can explore the stretch by walking those hands down to the shin. Maybe let the body hang loose and maybe allow that head to drop down. Head lower than the heart lower than the hips. We are now in a pretty soft inversion, supporting that inversion and supporting the spine. Again, shake out the head. We want the head and neck to be loose, like a rag doll. To safely come up, let's all bend that right knee a little more. Walk at least one hand back up onto the right thigh, and then take the left, finding a flat back. Let's slowly bring ourselves up to standing, and then relax your arms. Step to center, shake off the legs, and shake out the body. All right, let's try that sequence on the other side, bringing our hands together at the heart to begin. Stepping our right foot back, one casual stride, and bending the left knee. Again, taking some time to really experiment with the stride. Yoga is all about discovering what feels right in any given breath, and you can change your mind at any time. So maybe we start here, but maybe in the next breath, we walk that right foot back a little more. And then we hold it here with our left knee bent. And notice, what is the body experiencing here? Does this feel more or less comfortable from where you were? Maybe bring it in halfway. So it's not quite where we started. It's not a long stance or a really short stance. It's just in the middle. We call it the Goldilocks effect. It's not too much, not too little, just right. Finding that point where you're able to find a centered place for the body. Keeping that left knee bent, let's look down at our left toe. Again, we want to see all of our toes. That's a sign that the knee is probably in the safest place possible, preventing any injuries. When you're ready, extend those arms straight up overhead, holding your body's expression of a warrior one. Inhale big. Exhale in place. Bend those elbows in. Let's circle those elbows back. Take it forward, up and around. Press it back. Just like a big morning yawn, you're gonna open, inhale, exhale, circle back. Come forward, inhale, lift the ribs, look up and circle back. Add in a long arm if you want to try it with the arms straight. Take it back and around. And you could do just one arm. It doesn't have to be both arms straight. You can have one arm straight, one arm bent, just simply noticing what each shoulder prefers. Let's take this back, placing the fingers and pressing the fist away from our back, or place the knuckles or even the palms of the hands at the low back. Again, we want to make sure the shoulders, arms, wrists, and hands are comfortable, because first and foremost, we're going to make this about the spine being comfortable. Take the shoulders out of it. 3 big inhales, big breath in, and exhale. Straighten that left leg a tiny bit. Inhale, exhale. One more, big breath in. Staying where we are with this, we're pushing our hips back, stopping at about 1/3 or 1/4 of the way. Lengthen out through the spine, low back strengthener. Maybe come down just a little more. Option to keep it right here. So this is not an inversion. If we want to take the hands onto that front thigh for support, we may be able to feel just a different, more comfortable stretch. On the next exhale, we can always walk the hands down, maybe even bringing the head lower than the heart, creating that inversion, the forward fold with our warrior one stance. Exhale from the throat. Exaggerate the inhale in your low back. Exhale from the throat. To safely come up, let's put at least our left hand up on the left thigh. Push into the hand and take that right hand up. And let's walk it to center, nice and easy. From here, we may want to go ahead and shake out the legs, step forward, shake out your arms, keep the body comfortable. If you want to grab a sip of water at this point, that could really help as we are going into the final stretch of our class. We've already done a lot of movement, which moves a lot of lymphatic fluid, and we want to make sure that we're keeping the body well hydrated, because we're bringing out toxins here, and we need water to get those toxins out the body. Let's all get ready for our standing balancing pose of tree, Vrikshasana. I am using my left hand against the wall today for support. My left side of the body is facing the left side of the wall. I'll be standing on my left leg and working with the right leg with rotation and a little bit of balance. From wherever you are, I'm lifting my right heel. And if you have the opposite hand on the wall, just do the opposite of what I say. Rotating the right knee out, pressing the right heel to the inside of the left leg. Here is our probably safest expression of tree. We do have the option to slide that foot up atop the ankle. Maybe the heel is pressing somewhere below the knee joint. We want to keep all pressure off the knee. You are welcome to give your body a little boost, assist that lift by grabbing your right leg, pull that foot up over the knee joint, finding what is maybe more of a traditional expression of tree pose. No matter where we go with that foot, we may want to just experiment with pushing just gently away from the wall, standing hands free on one foot, or maybe even hands at the heart. Our more traditional version is to bring those arms up overhead, palms facing in like you're holding a bowling ball, or press the palms together over your head and wing those elbows out. We've already done a lot of shoulder work today, so you can move those elbows out. We've already worked a lot on stretching the chest. One more big breath here. And now relax. Let the hands down. Find that support. Let the right leg down. And then shake everything off. Let's do the other side. Right hand to support, maybe on a chair, maybe on a bed or an ottoman, or even your dresser in your bedroom. From here, let's shift our weight into the right foot, spread out the toes, lift that left heel, swing that left knee to the side, and press the left heel onto the inside of your right ankle. Holding it here first, maybe even closing the eyes. Let the body feel those little shifts as we change the foundation, as we change the feet and change the position of the hips. We may notice that the body is already beginning to recruit muscles for balance. Option to stay here or slide that toe away from the floor, keeping the foot below the knee. Maybe bring the foot up above the knee. And then, of course, no matter where you are with that foot, experimenting by taking the hands away from the wall, palms facing in, holding onto a bowling ball, reaching straight up, big breath in. Option to press the palms together, more of a traditional expression with the palms together and the elbows winged out to the side. Exaggerate the inhale, at least 2 or 3 more big breaths. Breathe into the center of the chest. When you're ready, let's take our supporting hand to our prop. Slowly lower both arms. Release the feet, both feet on the floor. Give the body time to feel completely supported by the earth. From here, let's make our way down to the floor and grab any props that you think might be helpful for comfort today. Pillows, blankets, jackets, socks. From wherever you are, we're hinging from the hips to slowly make our way down. Stepping one foot back at a time, supporting the body down to the floor. Let's come around into easy seated pose, keeping those knees bent. When you're ready, go ahead and lift up the knees in front of you. Touch the feet together. Moving into butterfly, let's open the knees, keeping our feet touching. Let the hands relax in front of you, or shift forward just a little bit. Hands can be to the sides, to the ankles, lightly touching the feet. If you know you want to work on your posture more, maybe you're wanting to strengthen the back of your spine, put the hands behind you. Lean back and pull up the ribs. So it's butterfly with the back bend. No matter where we are with this, that breath is going to take the path of least resistance. If we're leaning back, the breath goes into the chest. If we're leaning forward, the breath goes into the low back, in the middle back. Let's walk our hands in to gently make our way out of butterfly. Extending both legs out straight, countering this pose by realigning the hip joints. Let's touch the big toes in towards each other. Separate the heels just enough so that you can see the edges of your feet would be parallel to a wall beside you, or the foot to the floor makes a 90-degree angle. Let's lengthen through the spine. Let the belly button pull forward. Continue to lift through the heart and open the throat. Seated staff pose. Inhale, lengthen a little more. Exhale, let the spine relax forward. Inhale, lengthen forward and out instead of straight up. Lengthen forward. Still keeping length in the spine. That hinge is in the hips. Spine is neutral. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen out again. Just one more time. Maybe that belly pulls closer to the thigh. There could even be a feeling like cow pose where you push your hips back and you pull up through your collarbones and open the throat. That sensation of moo, letting that belly press forward. Exhale, pull the belly in. Relax the shoulders, head and neck. Just simply softening that energy. To safely make our way down to the floor, let's scoot forward on our yoga mat. And then let your knees go over to one side, coming down to the floor, maybe grabbing our props for comfort under the shoulders and under the head and neck. Draw the knees in close, returning to that position that we did earlier. This is considered a form of a sleeping child's pose. And if you're lying on your right, that means you're opening the left side of your body, improving digestion and elimination processes. If you're lying on your left, the right side of your body is open. That's to improve liver function, cleansing the blood. You can stay here in our final few moments or roll over onto your back. And let's once again focus on the breath. We're changing it up this time. So we began today simply working with a diaphragmatic breath, belly breathing. Breathing and the internal breathing muscles actually create the foundation in any physical practice that we need to prevent injuries. Proper breathing means that certain muscles around the ribs are working in a way to prevent too much flexibility or too much tension in the body. So we want to work with that breath just a little more to wake up more breathing muscles close to the spine. This time, let's put one hand on the belly and another hand on your chest. So we began today feeling the rise and fall of the stomach. Let's return to that familiar place. Inhale, belly rising up, breathe in through the nose. And the breath is with the mouth open first. Making that breath audible. Just a few more. Now let's build on that. Inhale, feel the belly rise. Now notice if you can make your chest rise. Exhale, relax the chest. Relax the belly. And use that breath. Inhale, belly. Inhale, heart. Exhale, heart. Exhale, belly. Inhale, belly to the heart. Exhale, heart. Exhale, belly. Just a few more. Inhale, belly. Up to the heart. Exhale, heart down to the belly. One or two more. Keeping both legs bent. Let's take our hands either over the belly or bring them out to the side, palms up, cactus arms. You can hold it here, or maybe let those knees start to sway left and right. If you're opening up your palms up, you might feel a bigger stretch. So I have my palms up with my thumbs outside the shoulders. The elbows are bent. They're called cactus arms. We did this position a lot today in our warrior sequences. So what's going to happen with this is we're getting a bigger stretch in the muscles that move diagonal across the front and back of the body. Let the knees sway over to the right. You could even push into your feet, lift the hips, and then move into that big twist. This is twisting from the left chest down to your front right hip, and it's twisting from the right shoulder blade around to the back of the left hip. Notice the breath mostly in the upper left lung. You can look straight up or look over to the left so that that twist is spiraling from the tailbone, through your navel, through the heart, all the way up through the crown of the head. Stay here if it feels right for your back. You know your body better than anyone else. So this is the reason why you ultimately create and refine the practice. You don't have to do this twist on both sides. Let's bring the knees up. When your body is ready, reposition those hips to neutral, and maybe let those knees sway over to the left. Easy does it. Now we've got that big stretch from the front right chest to the front left hip. From the back right hip to the back left shoulder. The breath is mostly in the upper right lung. Close the eyes, keep the head neutral, or turn the head to the right. Again, creating and following that spiraling energy from the tailbone through the belly, the heart, and crown of the head. Stay here a little longer. If you're getting the stretch that your body needs, if you're feeling a release, even if you're feeling a little bit of a pull in your body, but you suspect that's going to lead to a release, trust that intuition. If you're ready to go into your final resting position, Shavasana, bring the knees to neutral. Maybe neutralize that low back with a quick hug, knees to chest. Option to let those feet come down. They can stay bent. Touching the knees together, walk the feet out to hips width. Or straighten out one or both legs to keep your body comfortable for final relaxation. Notice where the hands may want to be. They could go on the belly, feeling for the breath. It could be belly and heart. It could be one hand or both hands out to the side, palms up or down. There are so many unique variations on relaxation, as it is a very personal thing for each one of our bodies. Once we get settled, it's all about the breath. just about the breath, focusing on the elements of expansion on your inhale and contraction on your exhale. Every inhalation, the body is going to naturally open to receive the breath. So notice what places open without our control, without us shaping the breath in any way. What does it do all on its own? What parts of the body want to open to the breath? Noticing without judgment, this is the art of observation, the ability to watch without changing a thing. This practice can teach us so much, the ability to watch without changing a thing. If you've ever had something come up in your life, a deep concern, maybe you hear of a friend in need, sometimes it can be very challenging to be concerned without getting involved. That involves watching, just watching in resisting the impulse to control or to change. Continue to watch the breath. Now watch the exhale. Notice, where does it come from? At what point do we actually feel that energy rising as it eventually comes up from the throat and out from your mouth and nose? Where is the origin of the exhale? Where is the breath moving from? Surprisingly, as we inhale, the breath moves into one place, but the exhale may come from a different place. Slow down the exhale. The slower the exhale, the more we're able to tap into the relaxation response. Slow down that breath. Absolutely no rush to let go of the exhale. As we are rounding out our 1 hour of practice today, you're welcome to stay where you are. You may even notice that the body wants to go to sleep for a little while. That's fine. For those of us that maybe have some things on the schedule planned today, I'll encourage you to deepen your breath and bend your knees first. Let those knees sway a little bit. If you know that you are coming out of relaxation, so you can check off some things on your to-do list, take your time to roll over onto one side and slowly come up to seated. Again, if you can continue lying down, just lie down. Once we come up to seated, let's move the neck and the head around a little bit. Maybe even move the shoulders. We'll bring the hands together at the heart, our Anjali Mudra, the seal of physical reverence. From here, we can draw in a deep unifying breath together and let it go with a sigh. Thank you so much for joining me in our class today. Namaste, everyone. I will see you next time. Go enjoy your beautiful day.